Hey, this is part one of creating the TV in 3ds Max, and it is part of this interior modeling series here. And there are going to be some interesting things that we're going to learn. And as you can see here, I'm trying to create a plane that is going to be the starting point for creating this television. So we want to define and set the basic size of this television through creating this box, and here we are just keep holding shift and move then scale to create this effect that you can see in front of you here. Okay, or you can just scale it as from the center to scale all sides simultaneously. Okay, now we are trying to adjust the position of these edges a little bit so you can get a feeling of what this is gonna look like. And I personally don't know exactly how this is gonna be done, but we'll try where this is gonna lead us. Okay, let's select these edges right there and loop to select all the edges, or you can just double click. Then we're gonna chamfer to get that nice curve right there, because we don't want these edges to be so hard. Okay, we're gonna select all the edges and connect to get these two segments cutting through, but we have to move them manually because 3ds Max is not gonna allow us to perform a sliding effect. So we're gonna move them manually. It's not gonna be a problem. And we're gonna make sure that these vertices right here are gonna be straight by using the scale tool. Okay, good. Alright, good. We're gonna connect again, and we're gonna make sure these lines or vertices here are gonna be straight again on the z-axis, or probably on. So we made a mistake right there. We should have done that on the y-axis, of course. Okay, we're trying to adjust the position in some of these vertices. To give us more space right there. Okay. That was important because deleting it was just gonna allow us to create the interior of the television, and starting to, of course, creating the place where the screen itself is gonna be positioned. So right here we are going to chamfer these edges because they are not that hard. The same thing that we did on the outside, but this time it's gonna be a little bit messy because, as you can see here, as we chamfer it, there is gonna be some additional vertices that we need to deal with, and we're gonna weld them and target weld them just to make things less messy. Alright, so and we're gonna be a little bit careful because there are some important things that we need to do before. Okay, there is a problem right there, so we have to delete all of this, and we're gonna target this manually, and up there it works, down there it doesn't. So let's try to fix this. Okay, there are. So I guess this needs to be fixed in a smart way, because we can delete all the other surface that is causing us problems, or we can just find a smart solution around it. So right now we are trying to add more segments and more vertices right here, just to cover for the lack of the geometry, and lack of vertices right there. Okay, the same thing is happening right here. So we need to add more connections here using the cut tool, of course. Sometimes the cut tool acts in a weird manner, and we need to learn how to be a little bit patient with it. And we will fix the alignment of these vertices later on, because we want things to be straight after all. Okay, here we're trying to do the same thing, which is connecting some of these vertices. So we are gonna connect and fix the geometry here by connecting these vertices, and we will be good to go. Sometimes doing this is gonna be, it's not something hard, but you need to have patience, and you need to know that what you are doing is gonna work, to make it work. Because if you are new to this and this happens to you, you start thinking that there must be something problematic, when in fact it is just you're just you're just breaking some rules that make things work, and you need to figure that out, and you will be good to go. Okay, here we are trying to add two edges right there, which are going to be close to each other, and then connect everything, and yeah, connect things together using the connect tool. Okay, straighten things out as we said before. This inset that we create right here is going to be very important because it is setting the boundary for the pieces and the parts we are gonna lay out on top of this area right there, which is gonna be responsible for controlling the television. And there are gonna be a few pieces, but some of them are gonna be detailed, so we are gonna try to be careful right here and try to follow the a reference image that you have. Probably I follow a reference image to create this one too, because I don't do this from the top of my head, because this thing exists in the world and I'm trying to replicate it, trying to copy what I see and create it in 3D. So we are trying to straighten these lines right here, because the area that we are gonna work on is gonna be rectangular, and the edges are not quite as chamfered as the outer side. And remember that modeling is not a it's not something that you have to do in a manner that there isn't one way to do things. You can do things however you want, but the most important thing is the result that you're gonna get. Okay, you don't have to limit yourself to the way that the way that I'm using, or try to do things exactly as I do them. Feel free to adjust and manipulate what you're doing in a way that suits you and you see as appropriate, or most efficient, or fast, or whatever. So now we are inserting or just extruding once more, and this is gonna be to the inside, because as we said before, this is gonna be the place, and we're gonna create these little pieces, and it has to have its own space. So this negative extrusion is going to set it apart. Okay, select these vertices and move them down a little bit. Maybe this is not necessary, but if it's not bothering you, then you don't have to move them. Okay, now we are trying to create this edge right here using the connect ring connect tool, or you can just select and connect, just to create the area where we have these open spaces that for probably they are gonna allow the speakers to emit sound or something like that. So there are gonna be these open spaces right there, and they are gonna consume the most poly count. I guess this area is the most dense, so it's gonna be a little bit important to be able to get things arranged in a good manner. So here, this area is gonna it's not gonna be extruded actually. So we are gonna have to close this by connecting some of these edges right there and do some welding. I'm gonna weld those quickly. And yeah, we are all set for the first part. So the first part is over and we're ready to jump to second part. I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, I will see you in the second part where we will continue working on this television.